In the heart of the countryside, nestled between dense woods and winding roads that led nowhere, stood an ancient mansion known among locals as the Thorne Estate. The house, once a paragon of elegance, had been abandoned for decades, its grandeur a mere memory, enveloped in decay and shrouded in mystery. It was a crisp autumn night when a young journalist named Evelyn Porter decided to venture into the house. She had heard countless tales of the Thorne Estate, whispers of ghostly apparitions and unexplained happenings. Determined to unravel the secrets of the mansion, she packed her camera, a flashlight, and a notebook, and set off towards the decaying edifice. The sky was an expanse of inky blackness, with the moon veiled behind a shroud of ominous clouds. The trees whispered among themselves, their bare branches creaking like aged bones. As Evelyn approached the mansion, her heart pounded wildly in her chest, a mixture of fear and excitement coursing through her veins. She stood before the rusted iron gates, which creaked open with a mournful wail, as if lamenting the intrusion. The path leading to the mansion was overgrown with tangled weeds, and the once vibrant garden was a tangle of thorns and brambles. With each step, Evelyn felt the weight of the mansion's tragic history bearing down upon her. The front door hung ajar, its hinges rusted and unyielding. She pushed it open and crossed the threshold into the dimly lit foyer. The air was thick with the scent of mildew and decay, and the floorboards groaned underfoot. She could almost hear the echoes of past conversations, the distant laughter of children, the soft melodies of a piano. But the house was now silent, save for the occasional rustle of leaves outside and the unsettling creaks from its aged bones. Evelyn shone her flashlight around the foyer, illuminating dust-covered portraits of the Thorne family, their eyes following her every move. A chill ran down her spine, but she pressed on. She made her way through the house, documenting every room, every relic left behind. In the grand parlor she found an old journal, its pages yellowed and brittle. It belonged to Eliza Thorne, the last matriarch of the family. With trembling hands, Evelyn opened the journal and read the words scrawled within. October 30th, 1882. The house seems to have a life of its own. I hear whispers in the halls and feel a cold presence watching me. Something is not right here, something dark and malevolent. Evelyn's breath caught in her throat as a sense of foreboding washed over her. She continued reading, her eyes widening with each passage. November 2nd, 1882. The children have fallen ill. No doctor can explain their symptoms. They speak of shadows that creep into their room at night. I fear we are no longer alone in this house. Suddenly, a cold draft swept through the room, extinguishing her flashlight and plunging her into darkness. Evelyn fumbled for her flashlight, her hands shaking, when she heard it, a faint, melodic humming. The hair on the back of her neck stood on end as she realized the sound was coming from upstairs. Gathering her courage, she made her way up the grand staircase, each step echoing through the silent house. The humming grew louder, more distinct, and she could now make out the soft, childish laughter accompanying it. She followed the sound to a bedroom, its door slightly ajar. She pushed it open and froze in the doorway. The room was bathed in an eerie, pale light. In the center stood a little girl in a tattered nightgown, her back to Evelyn. She was singing an old lullaby, her voice hauntingly beautiful and sorrowful. Evelyn's heart pounded in her chest as she approached the girl, her voice trembling. The girl stopped singing and turned slowly to face her. Her eyes were hollow, dark voids that seemed to pierce through Evelyn's soul. She felt a wave of cold dread wash over her as the girl spoke in a voice that was both young and ancient. "They won't let me leave. They won't let any of us leave." She broke free and bolted out of the house, her heart pounding in her ears. She didn't stop running until she reached the iron gates, feeling a strange relief wash over her as they creaked closed behind her. She turned to look at the mansion one last time and saw them the ghostly figures of the Thorne family, watching her from the windows, their expressions a mix of sorrow and longing. Evelyn never returned to the Thorne estate, but the haunting memories stayed with her forever. She shared her story with anyone who would listen, warning them of the malevolent force that lurked within the house. And though many scoffed at her tale, there were those who believed and knew that some houses are not abandoned by chance. Some houses are prisons for the lost souls that dwell within. Beware, dear reader, should you ever find yourself near the Thorne estate on a dark and lonely night. For the house is waiting, and it does not take kindly to uninvited guests.